All right. Just like I told you earlier, it's just a conversation. Like I told you earlier, it's just a conversation that goes anywhere. Um, if for any reason you overshare, just let me know. And there's a timer here. I'll
Uh-huh.
write it down and I'll just delete it.
Yeah, it'll be all right, man.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be the first, and believe me, it's like shit like later. I have had
Uh-huh.
people call me later.
Really?
Yeah, I have one lady. She this is like the prime example that I like using. She left and then I was like, "Hey, can you take out the part where I was talking about my client?" And I was like,
Oh,
"Yeah,"
okay, yeah.
because we're riffing about different people who collect art,
Uh-huh.
and she was an artist, and so we just started rambling about like the weird clients.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, "What's like the weirdest?" And she was, "I had something like that," and we just kind of went on and we went on a tangent. And then
Uh-huh.
she was like, "Yeah, that's gonna be pretty easy for them to be knowing who I'm talking about. So like, can you take it out?"
It's like, yeah, they paid me like $10,000, so if you could take them off, you know what I
Who
mean? Like,
knows?
yeah.
Yeah, who knows what she that dude fucking or chick buys. All right. Introduce yourself.
So I'm Julian Nieto. I'm a local comedian here in Bakersfield, part of Bad Neighbor Comedy, which is a group of collective of comedians that are really trying to build the local scene here. Other than that, I am a comedian. I'm a chef in training. I do a Bakersfield College culinary program, and
That's
above
what's
all
up.
that, I'm also in sobriety. I'm like actual like I got 1 year. Actually, today I got 1 year, 5 months completely sober off drugs and alcohol.
Damn, that's what's up.
Yep.
I thought it was just an October thing.
No, no, no. So we are doing like we were originally gonna do like a sober October kind of thing, but me, Marcos, and Anthony, the other bad neighbor guys, are kind of none of us. I don't drink,
Mm.
because of my sobriety, and those guys don't really go too crazy or anything like that. Maybe Anthony will smoke weed or whatever, but they don't really go too crazy. But where I think all of us are kind of lacking was we're all out of shape, some more than others, so we decided to do more of a fitness challenge, which is what we're going to be doing from October, because we started a week late.
Oh, I was about to ask. Okay, I was like, you guys are deep now.
Yeah,
It's like halfway.
we started a week late, so but
Okay.
we're gonna go until November 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving. So we're gonna go until then, 6 week fitness
Oh,
challenge, and just see where it takes us.
that next day is gonna definitely be like the test for who like what that progress meant to
Oh
whoever,
no!
right?
So the day after we're going ham. Like it's part of it.
Yeah,
It's part of it.
but what if like I mean, well, I don't know. In 30 days, like how fit do you think you can get if you like were committed?
In 30 days, I mean, I don't know. I just want to like maybe lose my gut a little bit of my fucking man titties, because like I'm not very unfit, like after cutting out alcohol completely, like I used to be like 280 pounds. Now I like rock between like 245, 260. That's like where I rock at. So, I mean, I always joke that I'm in like the best shape of my life from like just not doing anything,
Just being tall.
just being tall and just like being walking around and shit. I'm in the best shape of my life, which isn't like a total lie, you know what I mean? But I'm out of shape and shit. So, I'm excited to see where it goes. It's 6 weeks though, man. It's a little bit more than 30 days. It's like what, 30? It's like 50 days, 40, 44.
I usually I wouldn't say I feel out of shape, and I do exercise frequently, here and there. I wouldn't say frequently, like consistently, but
Yeah.
I'll be pretty frequent for about 2-3 weeks, and then I'll drop off for like a couple weeks and then go back, and I'll do like jujitsu or boxing or like MMA.
Uh huh.
But you'll start feeling in shape even going to that, and then you'll go do a random shit, bro, and you're like, God damn, I'm fucking sore.
Yeah.
I used to know dudes that were when I work construction, they were like body lifters.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be fucking gassed out, bro. Like
Yeah.
we'd be like shoveling and digging holes, and they would gas the fuck out.
Well, that's because people are fat still, or people are out of shape. It's like so I've been doing like cardio and working out, and my brother's the one that kind of helped us like do like the little benchmark testing or whatever. My brother's like a personal trainer, super fit, like just kind of knows his shit. You know what I mean? Like he's like a certified personal trainer, not just like, oh, I'm a personal trainer, like certified, went to school for it, and like knows his shit. So he
And then you can cook. So if he tells you like your diet, then you
exactly,
can kind of figure out what you could do with that
exactly. And then
to an
I've picked
extent. Yeah.
up throughout the years, like him.
So you
I've
got no
worked on
excuse to
around.
lose. This
No excuse. Well, it's what I think, and I think
is it percentage or not or weight?
so. We're doing three different like scoring factors.
Nice.
The first is the benchmark test that we did. We're gonna release a video of it here soon. Of like we did max bench press in a minute, max deadlift in a minute, like how many you could do, like a max reps. We did max air squats in a minute, and then we did how quickly you could run a 400 meter, like on a treadmill. So we're gonna do that again at the end, and and there's gonna be like points accrued for that. And it's gonna be weight loss percentage, and then we're gonna do a 5K, like November 19th. We're gonna do a 5K, and that's gonna be part of the points too. Is like our timing on that. So it's like, multiple things, and then whatever, we'll see.
And it's you, Anthony, and Marcos.
Yeah.
Who's making is there anybody making noticeable progress, I guess?
We're really like in our first week, so it's like we're kind of just setting the pace for shit. But I think it's mine to lose, but I think Anthony could, just because he has the most to lose. You know what I mean? Like he has the.
Let's find a nice way to say what we're not trying to say.
No, fuck that, dude. Fuck that. Anthony knows exactly where he's at. He knows exactly what he is.
He knows what he is in life. He knows how he comes.
So like how like the Joe Rogan guys, they did the Sober October originally to like help out Bert Kreischer because they thought he was gonna die from alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, I made a joke that we're doing the same thing, but for Anthony, because we're afraid he's gonna die from McDonald's French fries. So we're just trying to help him out, man. But really, it's like a cool thing that we're all doing. We're excited.
How did you meet that guy? I'll tell you how I met him.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Well, I met him. I don't want to get that part wrong, but I believe he reached out to me and just said that he heard me, I think on the radio, and he was interested in talking to me and then in doing comedy.
Yeah.
And he showed up at a comedy show, open mic. He said, "What's up?" He didn't go up. I don't think I saw him for maybe a year. And then one day out of the blue, he hit me up and wanted to record something for, I think it was YouTube. I want to say YouTube. Pretty sure it was YouTube.
Yeah.
What else? And so then he disappeared for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing you know, he was doing comedy at the Well. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. That's what's up.
So the way I met him was I had went to middle school with him in 8th grade. And I didn't even really remember him, but and it's no fault to him. Middle school is just kind of like, I just kind of glossed over most of my middle school years. But later on, like probably, let's see. My son was born, it's probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. And one of my buddies from high school was starting like this like YouTube channel or whatever. It was like called
the Kraken.
Yeah, the Kraken thing.
Yeah. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
And I think me and Anthony talked about that, and I think they had split.
Yeah.
Or the group split, or Anthony split. I'm not sure. And then he said he was interested in recording something, and that's when I told him like, yeah, whenever, like let me know, and then disappeared.
Yeah. So that's how I met back up with him. Is I went. And I walked into like the writer's room because we were trying to write a sitcom for the Kraken Eats Pineapple thing or whatever. And I had saw him there, and he's like, "Oh, what the heck?" He's like, I went to middle school with you. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's what's up." You know what I mean? Like, and we like would write together in that environment. And me and him had like the same kind of like comedy styling, at least a little bit. Like the other guys were more writers, I think, and we were more comedy. You know, like we could make shit funny. Like we both watched Your Mom's House, and we both watched all that shit. And then I would follow him on Instagram, and I saw him going to open mics, and I hit him up. I was like, "Hey, dude, when's the open mic or whatever?" And I went and checked him out. And then the next week I started doing comedy, and then the rest is history.
What's your perception of you guys in comedy by the comedy scene?
Like
what you guys are doing is the neighborhood. It was a neighborhood friends.
Bad neighbor.
Bad neighbors.
Bad neighbor.
Yeah.
Like what our perception is, what my perception is, what we're doing, like what our mission statement
is.
How do you see
other people seeing you guys? Is the best way to say it, I guess. What I meant.
how do I see other people seeing
Like, what you
this?
guys are doing as far as the
I would hope
group?
that they would see us as like refreshing, you know, as something that, because like I know there's guys like Bruce Gray and Chris Flail and Dan, like guys that kind of came up, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
is like it's like, okay, these guys are, it's all, man, I wish you guys were around 8 years ago, you know, or in Bruce's case, I think he was doing open mics like 12 years ago or 10 years ago, or however.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish you guys were doing that then, you know, because I know some guys have came up and been like, man, it's all, where the heck were you 8 years ago, you know, because we had like that fire, and like because when we came into the scene, it was kind of like, okay, just sit back and wait your turn kind of thing, or sit back and wait for someone to notice you, aka Dan Betts or Andrew Boydston or whatever, la la la. And it came a point to where it was like, yo, let's go out there and take it. You know what I mean? And not in like a bad way
Yeah.
or anything like that,
No,
but like,
it's you know, grabbing life by the balls, man. Like, not waiting for someone to not waiting for someone to give you a pass for something they don't have the authority to give you. You know,
Yeah.
it's something you go out and get yourself.
Mm.
It's the it's the path that everybody's having to take to rise to anything. Is like, you gotta go out and try to get it. Yes, there might be some people along the way who have, you know, make the calls for, you know, your special
yeah,
or your pay or whatever the situation is, but for the most part, you have to just keep trying to figure out how it works and find your angle. There's no, I mean, I've spoken to a few comedians here, and they say the same thing. There's no blueprint. There's
exactly.
you can blow up because you cussed out your mom on TV. You can blow up because you fucking have the most banging song with no lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it is what it is. And with comedy, it's the same. People sometimes they're act, like, well, I don't know what to call them, but like act comedians.
Mhm.
They're not stand up comedians, but they're
Mhm.
just kind of funny, and then they get writers and people write for them. There's people who make their way up, and then they are ghostwriters. There's just
Yeah.
so many paths. I think I'll say from my perspective, and I know I don't come around much, mostly because I was doing comedy with someone else, and now I'm kind of stuck here in town, and so I'm trying to get back into comedy and start doing more, I guess, local shows and go out to LA and do other shows when I can. But for the most part, you guys are like, I wouldn't say like I wish you guys were here back then. It's just nice to see you guys in control of what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You know, to see not only to just see younger people doing comedy, enjoying it, doing it their way, um, and really in a time when you can really kind of do it anywhere, right? You can
Mhm.
do it at a gym, you can do it at a bar, you can do it, you know, you don't have to have a club.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that. And I think like the cherry on top is that you guys are of color.
Yeah.
You know, to see that is not, it's, there's no precedent of that,
Mhm.
of that I wouldn't say that much freedom, but definitely seeing people of color not really being controlled, or not being kind of like you said earlier, where you don't know what to do, and the people around you who should be teaching you, like, hey, you got to go out and get it, you got to go and get content, you got to go out and get a name, you got to go and work on material, you got to write, you got to, you know, or what is it that you want out of this, and this is how you can
Yeah.
meet the right people and stuff. It was quite the opposite. It was where it was like, if it didn't work for me, then it's not going to work for you, so don't even try. Or also like, if I can't be the honcho, then you're like blacklisted.
Mhm.
You know, kind of like when people would try to open an open mic, it wouldn't even have to be on the same day. You know, put that aside, right? It wouldn't even have to be on the same day. They would say like, oh, you're gonna thin it out, and we only have so many people who like comedy in town, so don't do that show no more.
Yeah.
And if you do it, we're not gonna support it. And if
Yeah.
anybody goes to it, then they can't come to the other mics.
Mhm.
And it's like, why are you doing that?
And that's still like, there's still a touch of that,
Yeah.
but it's not as much as like, I think now, I think after the pandemic specifically, people are kind of like ready for something new, maybe, you know what I mean? And it's like we're able to, at least with what we are, like, you know, us compared to other shows that are going on at the Well, we're kind of more of like a punk rock kind of scene, you know, like a Basement at Jerry's Pizza kind of thing, you know, like, you know, we're more, so it's a different crowd other than the guys who, oh, they did have to go get a babysitter. Oh, they did have to make sure to order pizzas for the kids. They did have to do this and the other. Our crowd is more like, hey, there's fucking something going on in an hour. Let's go. And like they come through in droves. Like I think we have tapped into, like you said, that younger, like, you know, that more like punk Mexican scene or whatever, you know, because I'm third generation.
Just more
American.
rowdy.
Yeah, more rowdy, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, you know, paisa or nothing like that. I'm like, I don't even know Spanish, you know what I mean? So it's like,
The variety of comedy changed too, because not only did you guys bring your guys's, I don't know what to call it, you know, your show that you guys do, you've brought like a new perspective on materials, man.
mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a time when I remember I would be at the mics, and I wouldn't say people. Well, obviously, people are gonna tell the same jokes over and over.
Yeah.
But like it was like very low hanging fruit. Even me, like fucking pussy jokes, fart jokes, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. Everybody does that shit. But I meant like people playing to like the Oil Dale crowd and shit.
Mhm.
You know, just like making Jew jokes, making black jokes,
Yeah.
making Mexican jokes, and then it was just different. And to I think to add on to it, I think another good part about it all is that you guys have options. So as to where before, if someone did tell you something like, "Hey, if you try to branch out and do your own thing, and you know you're gonna take a risk, like you're banned, you're not,
Mhm.
or you're not allowed to do this or do that anymore, or we're not gonna support this and that." You kind of had to take it as what it was because it was a small group of people who controlled it, and they were all in coordination.
Yeah.
And so now you have everybody has options. There's people, they're not related to each other. They're even in some ways competitive to each other. There's other establishments who want comedy, and if one group doesn't want to do the comedy, they'll fucking hire someone else to do the fucking comedy.
Yeah.
So I think that ability of the options, I think people can still, I guess, make like dry threats and shit, but they're just bluffs at this point now because any of the establishments, if they want to continue, have to. And they can't be doing that shit, you know, trying to blackball people
And we've you know, I've been doing it. Me and Anthony at least have been doing it for like about a year and a half. Anthony has.
Oh, it's not bad. I thought you guys were like maybe on 3 years. But okay.
No, we're post COVID comics basically. You know what I mean? And so you have guys like Marcos who has kind of seen a bit of that, and we hear the stories about this, that, and the other. But I feel like we not rise above it. I don't want to say that. Like we're just not. We don't have to worry about it either, but we're just not even involved with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I've seen.
Yeah, we've created our own path within the realms of what has already been constructed, you know? Our best shows have been at the Well, you know what I mean? And we're able to move within these things and able to kind of just, it's like, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, a woman, this, that, or the other. Are you funny?
Yeah.
That's the only thing we care about. It's like we want to put on the best shows for these people in Bakersfield that maybe have either that for the most part don't even know what comedy is, live comedy. You know, they're used to watching George Lopez specials or, you know, Bill Burr on Netflix. It's like, well, this isn't that, but you're going to come out and you're going to get your money's worth.
No, definitely, man. No, it's great, man. It's a breath of fresh air, and I hope you guys continue and keep growing and take it where it goes, man. Who knows where it can go. And then who was so this guy was there with Marcos, I think Marcos and Anthony at the roast battle, and he was like a young guy,
real fat.
Yeah. I was gonna say chunky, but yeah, bro. He looked like someone like dropped off their kid or some shit, and then left them with the two worst motherfuckers you could leave them with. Bro. It was a trip. So is he a kid or is he an adult?
He's an adult.
Okay.
He's 20, 21, I think.
Okay.
And here, watch, you're gonna trip on this. He's the bad neighbor intern.
Yeah, I remember they referred to him as that. I didn't know what was going on, but I was like, this is fucking crazy. These guys are nuts.
Yeah, he's our intern. He wants to pursue something in the arts kind of thing, and We're giving them the opportunity to help us out, to edit, to shoot, to just be a part of something. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the biggest thing, is that it's like, we want to, it's like, come on, like, because none of us are getting paid from this. You know what I mean? Where everything, every dollar that we've ever made is put back into the company. And the company, it's not an actual, but into the group. And we want to, none of us are greedy, none of us are this, and we're just trying to put out the best content that we can for these for the people. The money will come later, but right now we're just trying to do something. I think like the best way to put it is like Bakersfield right now, the comedy scene is in its adolescent period and early adolescence. Like it just barely hit puberty. You know what I mean? We got a while to kind of grow with it before it reaches adulthood.
Well, I think it goes back to your guys' group, man. You guys have like kind of broken the chains and kind of not chains as in like being held back, but more just like breaking the mold.
Yeah,
is a better way of saying it. Like breaking the mold. I think people just thought one type of comedy worked out here, and I think Class Clowns have done well. They haven't done a few things lately. I'm not sure what's going on with them, but I think they were a group as well that showed that there was room for this comedy of group of people.
Yeah,
not just one individual up there. And I think Anthony Rivera was here the other day where I did his interview, and he was saying the same thing. Like it's just all way different now, and I'm really glad, man. I'm really happy for you guys.
Yeah.
That you don't have to deal with some of the shit that I've heard people deal with, but it's everywhere. Like I was talking to Eric Seifert, and I was like, we talk about it like Like
Eric Seifert's a cool fucking dude too.
He's like, yeah, I used to work with the fucker. He's hilarious. I mean, this guy would bullshit on lunch all the time. But we were talking about it, and we were just talking. It's just different. You guys are doing better, and hopefully you guys all continue to get along and do well. Because it is, man. It's different and it's better. It's better for everybody. Because it just needs to grow. Comedy needs to grow here in Bakersfield, and it's like the perfect spot to have a club. We have Fresno and we have LA right around us.
Yeah.
So it's like the perfect spot to get people to stop by and do a show, especially for people just looking for a mic.
Yeah. And that's what we're working towards. We've our last two like present shows, our headliner shows, we've had two we've had one guy that was passed at the Comedy Store, and then another guy that is a door guy over there.